HDSLR Shooters special coverage of NAB 2017. Sponsored by Akidio, Aperture, Adamus, Band Pro, Blackmagic Design, Carl Zeiss, Light in Motion, Manios Digital and Film, Shape, Schneider, Sakonic, and Xylite.
Hi, Clint with HDSLR Shooter. Continuing on here of our coverage, NAB 2017. Bronwyn Lewis, and you are product manager for creative video for Adobe and Adobe products. But today we're going to talk specifically about Premiere. Bevy of new updates just announced last week. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I think has been highly anticipated is the new type tool and the new graphics workspace in Premiere Pro. So we've been listening to a lot of customers about needing to integrate titles directly into Premiere Pro. I think a lot of times people are bouncing between multiple tools like Photoshop and After Effects. So some of the things that we're really excited to be releasing is this new type tool. So if you are familiar with Photoshop, it'll be very intuitive and familiar from what you're used to. So you can now type directly on the program monitor in Premiere Pro. You can use your selection tool to resize and move your text around, and then you can use the new graphics, essential graphics panel to make adjustments to things like font, alignment, add a background, shape, and then on the effects control panel you can actually start adding some animation within Premiere Pro itself. We've now got the Essential Sound panel in Premiere Pro. So if you were familiar with some of the releases a couple of cycles ago to Adobe Audition, we added the Essential Sound panel. And the Essential Sound panel lets you select an audio clip and then assign a type like dialogue, music, ambience. And so now, and then within that panel you get all these presets that make sense for whatever type of audio you're working with. So you could get a balanced female or a balanced male voice, a podcast preset for your dialogue. With your music you might want to adjust the loudness and make sure that all of the dialogue is rising above it. So that's something we added in Audition a couple of releases ago, and in this release for Premiere Pro we've actually got it available directly within Premiere Pro. So if you're doing all of your editing in Premiere Pro without having to bounce over to Audition to make those changes, you can actually do that right within your timeline.
Now, can you actually do stuff like remove sounds or do audio cleanup, those type of robust things you did in Audition?
Absolutely. So we've got presets and the ability to do remove rumble, remove the background noise, de-esser, so you can get rid of all those harsh S sounds, which I'm probably making a lot of right now, just saying de-esser.
De-esser.
So yeah, all of those things are there. And what's also cool is that if you add, like for instance, like one of the things I like to do when I'm showing this is to get something like EQ, put it on, and then look in the effects control panel, because you can actually open that up. And so in the Essential Sound panel, I'm controlling something with a single slider, and I'm really able to listen and hear what's sounding good. But if I look in the effects control panel, I can actually see all of the things that are changing under the hood. So if I'm not an audio person myself, but to me that seems like a really great way that I could start to learn, like how would I address this in a more complicated or complex way as my skills are growing.
Now, is Audition going away? Or?
No. So Audition also has a lot of really cool new features. We've been working on our onboarding, so helping people get started as a new beginner or learning more techniques within Audition. And so that's one of the cool things you can do in Audition now, is we have a couple of tutorials that are built right into the app. So as you're coming in and you want to learn those more complex workflows, right? It's not the, I'm just an editor trying to get this content out and I want to get it most of the way there. If I need to go into Audition to do any kind of more fine detailed work, I also now have a way to start learning how to do those things as someone who might be less familiar. And we have ambisonic audio support for VR, so we've been really responding to how VR needs are changing and evolving as that becomes a new format for storytelling. So we've been continuing to add support there. Ambisonic audio was something we heard a lot of requests for, and wanting to get that kind of spatialized feeling when you're working with 360 content.
Excellent. So people want to find out more about Adobe, about the latest version of Premiere, they should go to the website, right?
Yeah, and our Creative Cloud YouTube channel, we've got lots of videos that give great overviews of everything that's new, as well as tutorials about how to use all these new features. Our blogs, blogs.adobe.com, got great feedback there, and then we're making updates on Twitter, so you can follow Adobe CC Video for all the updates about the show floor, customers we're talking to, and all of the new things in our releases.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Bronwyn.
Thank you, Clint.
HDSLR Shooters special coverage of NAB 2017. Sponsored by Akidio, Aperture, Adamus, Band Pro, Blackmagic Design, Carl Zeiss, Light in Motion, Manios Digital and Film, Shape, Schneider, Sakonic, and Xylite.